Hey guys, it's going Josh here. In today's video, we're going to talk about how to do the sequel to Spider-Man Homecoming. So we don't know what it's going to be called yet. I doubt it's going to be called Spider-Man Homecoming 2, and I doubt it's just going to be called Spider-Man 2. Like honestly, for all we know, it could have the name Spider-Man College Visits or Spider-Man Prom. Like we have no idea because he will be a junior in the next movie instead of a sophomore in high school. So obviously, I might go into some spoilers for Homecoming. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, please click out of the video and return after you've seen it, basically, unless you just don't care about potential spoilers, which in that case, cool. Basically, I think this movie, so he'll be a junior in high school. I think this will be kind of the tail end of his junior year. I think this will be springtime. I don't think they're going to do another dancing setting again, per se. I don't expect that. Maybe they'll do the prom season setting, but I really hope they don't, because I think it might be a little repetitive. You know, you went from Homecoming, now you're doing prom. Save prom for the third movie, which seemingly would be his senior year of high school, when prom is, you know, a lot more kind of important senior year, if I remember correctly, from like my high school days. I see part of the movie's plot being him and Aunt May kind of looking at colleges, taking college visits, things of that nature. Because usually this is when you kind of finalize your college visits up and you start doing your applications for college. And this is where I think we'll be introduced to a few of our potential antagonists in the future. So one said future antagonist I think will be Otto Octavius. I think they're going to have some Easter eggs in there too, like the Jackal, for example, was a college professor of Peter Parker's. So I think it'd be cool if maybe he appeared, like Miles Warren appeared, maybe like just as a professor, you know, saying hello to Peter, a part of the genetics or biology department at ESU. But I think Peter's probably going to want to get an engineering degree. Not because Tony Stark had an engineering degree, but because it kind of fits Peter Parker's whole MO with his inventiveness. I know in the comics, I think he had a chemistry degree, so that could be a thing he goes for too in the movies. But let's just say he goes for physics, something like physics or engineering. Easily a professor you can have for that would be Otto Octavius. Otto Octavius could be another mentor-like figure, just like Tony Stark is a mentor-like figure for Peter, and they dabbled with this in Spider-Man 2, so I think it'd be really cool to see that again. So I think Otto Octavius could be a good kind of mentor figure, but what I hope they do with him is, I know everyone wants to see Doc Ock, but I want to see more of the master planner side of Doc Ock. So it'd be really cool if maybe he's doing things from the background, manipulating the criminal underworld with his intellect, kind of showing his superiority complex, like where he's like, I'm too smart to dabble directly into the criminal underworld, so I'm simply going to manipulate people in the criminal underworld, make things go my way. That's very Doc Ock, you know. For example, he was the superior Spider-Man when he was Spider-Man because of his superiority complex. So it'd be really cool if they showed that. They didn't really have that in the Raimi movies. They made him a lot more sympathetic, and which you can do. He's naturally a sympathetic character with his backstory, but still leave that personality into the character, I would say, if you reintroduce him into the MCU. Be more of the master planner, more so than Doc Ock, since we've seen Doc Ock, but we haven't really seen Master Planner in the MCU movies before. And really what I think of for this is Spectacular Spider-Man. I think they did a great job showing both sides. They showed Doc Ock, but then they showed his Master Planner story arc with the whole crime boss storyline, which I thought was one of the best things in Spectacular Spider-Man. I really want them to see them go that angle. And the villain, though, I think will be more of the Tinkerer. And the reason I say this is because the Tinkerer showed a lot of ambition in Spider-Man Homecoming. And when I say ambition, I mean like he kept trying to push the Vulture to do the Stark Tech, you know, raid. And he was saying, oh, I have all this tech and this tech and this tech and this tech you can use. And the Vulture kind of kept him focused and pretty much kept him on a leash. He was like, we don't need that. We don't need that. You know, just stay on course. We're doing fine the way we are right now. Let's just stay in our lane. So I think without the Vulture anymore kind of inhibiting his ambitions, Tinkerer might go a little off the rail. And by off the rail, I mean he'll start making villains into supervillains, more or less. So I think one we might see is Scorpion. And they kind of set up Matt Gargan in this movie. They introduce him, they reference him a few times. I think he will definitely be the villain. I mean, the dude premiered in Spider-Man number 19 and then number 20 as a Scorpion. So I think it's highly possible that, you know, we see Scorpion in the movies. Plus, we haven't gotten him yet in either Amazing Spider-Man or Raimi Spider-Man movies. So I think it's very possible we'll see him in the MCU Spider-Man movies because they want to differentiate themselves and use villains that haven't been used before. Shocker will probably reappear. I don't see why Shocker wouldn't reappear. that's how I think they're going to do it. Now, Aaron Davis, I think, will also appear in this movie. What I think he will be is kind of a, not only comedic relief, but I think he'll just kind of be someone for Spider-Man to talk to at times on the streets. I think he might serve a similar role to Turk from Daredevil, if I remember his name correctly. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts. What do you guys think will happen? Comment below, and I will see you guys later.